Understanding where Denisovans came from and what they looked like has been one of the most tantalizing mysteries in human evolutionary studies for the past decade and more. First identified in 2010 from a single tiny finger bone discovered in the Denisova Cave in Siberia, these enigmatic hominins were known primarily through ancient DNA that showed they were a distinct group of archaic humans closely related to Neanderthals, sharing a common ancestor with both Neanderthals and modern humans. Yet, for years, scientists had no skull or major skeletal remains to help reconstruct their physical appearance or trace their geographic range across Asia, meaning their true origin remained largely speculative, until recent breakthroughs in ancient DNA and fossil analysis began to fill in the gaps. The story truly shifted in the mid-2020s when researchers turned their attention toward a fossil that had puzzled scientists for decades, the so-called Dragon Man skull discovered near Harbin, northeastern China in 1933. Originally unearthed by a local laborer and hidden for generations, this remarkably complete cranium was initially labeled by some researchers as Homo longi, a potential new ancient human species. But recent work published in prestigious journals such as Cell and Science has used ancient mitochondrial DNA extracted from calcified dental plaque and other biomolecules, tying this Harbin skull to the Denisovan genetic lineage with high confidence. This identification is monumental because it provides the first near-complete skull associated with Denisovans, allowing scientists to start putting a real face and real biology to a group previously known almost entirely through scraps of DNA and a few teeth and bone fragments. What this emerging research suggests is that Denisovans were far more geographically widespread than previously thought, and not simply confined to the Altai Mountains of Siberia where their name was first coined. The Harbin cranium, dated to at least 146,000 years old, connects Denisovans unmistakably to northeastern China in the Middle Pleistocene, implying a broad dispersal across eastern Eurasia during that time. When paired with other Denisovan-linked fossils, such as the Sha Yi mandible from the Baishiya karst cave on the Tibetan plateau dating back roughly 160,000 years, a much larger map of Denisovan habitation begins to take shape, stretching from Siberia through high-altitude China and possibly further south and east. Modern discoveries of Denisovan-related remains, including protein-based matches from a jawbone found in the Penghu Channel off Taiwan, further reinforce the idea that these archaic humans were versatile and capable of thriving in diverse climates and landscapes long before Homo sapiens took similar routes through Eurasia. While the Harbin skull itself reveals fascinating biological clues, it is massive, with pronounced brow ridges and a cranial capacity similar to that of both Neanderthals and modern humans, suggesting that Denisovans were physically robust with substantial brains. While traditional DNA extraction from this particular skull has been challenging, scientists were able to sequence mitochondrial DNA and abundant protein fragments that match Denisovan signatures previously identified in Siberian specimens. Combined with other genomic data from Denisova Cave specimens, including recently sequenced 200,000-year-old Denisovan individual's genome, researchers now see that Denisovans were not a monolithic population, but instead experienced repeated genetic mixing both with Neanderthals and between different Denisovan groups over long periods. One of the most compelling aspects of this research is its impact on how we interpret Denisovan contributions to modern human populations. Genetic studies over the last decade have shown that some present-day people in Melanesia, East Asia, and parts of Southeast Asia carry Denisovan DNA, evidence of ancient interbreeding events as our Homo sapiens ancestors moved out of Africa and encountered archaic populations across the continent.
These genetic traces are not just curiosities. In some cases, such as genes associated with high-altitude adaptation in Tibetan populations, they appear to have played a real role in human evolutionary success. Wikipedia. Still, many questions remain. While the Harbin skull and DNA provide vital clues, the full geographic range, social behavior, and ultimate extinction of Denisovans are topics of ongoing research and debate. Some scientists propose that Denisovans may have extended even further into Southeast Asia, while others emphasize the need for more fossil remains and genetic data to clarify regional variations within the Denisovan lineage. What's clear, however, is that the combination of ancient DNA and new fossil discoveries is transforming our understanding of where Denisovans came from, how they lived, and how they relate to both Neanderthals and modern humans. And that's something worth remembering the next time we think about our own deep family tree and the ancient cousins who helped shape it.